Hello YouTubers, this is my first video on my new channel, Gate Logic. In this video, I'm going to share one of my most recent projects that I think may be helpful to some of you out there. And in this project, I want to share my findings and the way I integrate this eufy device to the garage controller. In case if your garage controller did not sync or function as expected with this device, this video will help you to integrate this device to your garage controller. Let's talk about my discovery and what did I did after finding out. So as I purchased and I realized that it's not syncing to my garage door. I realized that it's not the wiring. It's not the security UFI device either. It was basically my garage door opener. The the newer models of garage door opener the model that I use actually is a LiftMaster uh, P3 LiftMaster, and that model only works with uh, a wireless opener. Even the door button is a wireless garage door opener, and the wiring coming out of the LiftMaster is basically just a power output from the unit. So let me show you what it looks like on my end. This is what I have on my garage door, uh, and you can see that it's a LiftMaster P3. It comes with four inputs, or actually, I would say two inputs. Uh, but basically, those two inputs are going in this wired connections. These are the optical sensors that detect the obstruction at the door, and it closes or opens the door based on the obstruction. So uh, I want you to pay attention to this little button right here from the eufy website. Talks about these buttons, and it also spells out what door controllers are compatible with this garage opener. So as you can see that the LiftMaster, Chamberlain, and Craftsman. So these have, I believe they all share a similar electrical board. So the color coding is even similar between them. So green, red, and orange are compatible, fully compatible. And as I understand, the left side output that you see in the LiftMaster in the ones with the colored green, red, and orange is basically a simple switch. So you just hook up the eufy, and eufy just it just opens and closes the switch, and the garage door operates. Compared to the yellow one that I have now, here it shows no compatibility because, as I already said, that the model that I have only works with the wireless garage door opener, and the purple one right here, I have no idea how to configure this. Although their website does talk about it. Let me show you. This is basically the image that they share, and they ask the user to jumper those two connections. Starting with the list of components, we need one relay, and this has to be this exact type, SIP 1A05. This has a minimum of 10 milliamp coil current, and I think this is the maximum voltage that it can work on. The transistor we need is a 2N3904. Make sure this is the exact one that you find. And three resistors, one 325, the other is going to be 615, and the third one is going to be 2.7 kiloohms. So three resistors, one LED for testing only, some wire, 1 foot or 2 foot. 2 foot would be enough. Basically, the desired length that you want uh, uh, to set your circuit uh, away from your eufy controller. Maybe you are mounting it high enough, and you want the electronics, the box, separate from the eufy, and you want it to be accessible in your reach, uh, because it's going to have a battery, because we're using the circuit from the uh, circuit board from the wireless garage door opener. So it's going to have its own battery still with it. You're going to keep that. That's that. Obviously, a UV controller, uh, a voltmeter just to make sure that you made the right connections, like soldering, and then uh, a 5-volt power supply adapter, preferably with the one with two USB outputs. I should say two out USB. Essentially, I'll show you exactly the one that I'm using, and a spare USB cable long enough to compensate for that length that we talked about. So that's basically what you need. Okay, everybody, so this is our circuit diagram. As you can see, we have a 5-volt power supply. It's a small circuit, just using the 3904 transistor. This is the transistor we were talking about. The eufy is going to complete the circuit from the R1 to the base of this transistor. R2 will keep it ground, and the relay is going to be in serial with the 325 ohms resistor. So essentially, what's going to happen here is that as the eufy is not connected, it's going to show as a maximum resistor value, which is going to be very high resistance value. It's essentially a solid state switch within eufy that we are connecting to. When it's not energized, it's going to be a very high resistance. When it's energized, it's going to be low resistance. There is no current output coming from this switch, just the resistance change. So we're going to use that to our advantage, and we're going to disconnect the circuit when there's no signal. What that's going to do is going to disengage the relay, and when eufy receives the signal, it's going to engage that connection, which is going to engage our relay, and obviously the output of the relay is going to be connected to the button of the wireless transmitter. Okay, so this is my LiftMaster wireless remote. Let's open this. Okay, so here's the circuit board. It is attached to from the middle to the board with just another plastic, uh, and over here as well from the corners, so you can see. So we can release it from the corners. So I'm going to use my nail and try to pop this out of its position. And here we go. Okay, the board is out. In my case, I only have one button. You probably have two. Uh, so you would have to find out exactly which one is going to operate which door. And if you have purchased the eufy, that the model that I have, you will have a single output. If you do, then you would have to decide which of the doors you want to open. In my case, I only have one output signal. It's only one button, so nothing difficult to choose. So flipping back, you'll see the button leads are here that are soldered to the circuit board. There are bottom leads here, and there is a top lead here. So there's 4 points where it's soldered at to the circuit board. The top is one side of the switch, the bottom is the other side of the switch. So in my case, what I've done is I've basically soldered one side of the wire to the bottom, the other side to the top, and I chose the top and opposite from the bottom one, just to make sure that it doesn't connect. Uh, Minimizes the chances of mistakes. So basically, that's all I have done, and that's all you'll need to do. And let me show you my finished soldered board. I apologize, I won't be able to show you the soldering of the board itself. So here's my example board, or the one I'm actually using. So you can see that there are these white and black leads going back to the board, and that's essentially what I've soldered to, the one like I was showing you. So all this is doing is basically connecting to the relay, completing the circuit. The relay has two ends, and we're just tapping into both ends where the relay is connecting. And essentially, as the signal comes in, the relay is energized, and it opens the circuit, triggering the wireless garage door opener. So essentially, that's what happens. And let me show you the working circuit that I've already built for you on the breadboard. Okay, to save time, I've already put together the circuit for us, and let me show you what the circuit is doing right now. So this black cable is the USB that I mentioned that you would need to have a USB cable that you can sacrifice. So I've actually cut the other end of the USB, and here's the USB, the end that's going to plug into the uh, to the charger. And I'm only using the red and black leads coming out of this cable. There were two other leads I've cut off, which was white and green. Those were the signal cables. We don't need those. So I'm only utilizing the power output, and this is where it's connected, the negative, and I'm using the positive and negative connections in the breadboard. Now let's switch to our circuit. So here's the circuit. As you can see, our 5-volt DC is this input right here. As you can see that these are in series resistors, which actually make up the 2.7 kilo ohms for the eufy switch input. I have one end of the input of the eufy connection connected to the one end of the resistor. The other end is going to the base, and this is our 615 ohms connected to the ground. Then we have a connection going straight to our relay, and from there the relay is uh, connected to the positive to complete the circuit. This is basically the positive end of the circuit. The current's gonna flow from here, go to the relay, and then flow through the transistor, and then down to the ground, which is our uh, which is this guy right here. So essentially, when you put this together, I advise you to put it on the breadboard, make sure that it works before you connect it to the garage controller. As I mentioned, you will be connecting it to your button uh, on the wireless controller. So this is what basically it's going to connect to where this LED is, and that's basically it. There's nothing else special going on in the circuit. So as the eufy is on but is not triggering, it will when you put up your voltmeter between these two leads, you'll find out that it has a high resistance. That high resistance leads to low voltage at the base, and that keeps the transistor turned off. As you send the command to eufy, the eufy will show smaller resistance between these two leads, which will increase the voltage at the base, opens the circuit, basically opens the switch, which enables the relay to open the lead. So I'm going to demonstrate that to you now. Before I proceed, I want to show you the USB charger that I use. The eufy came with its own USB cable, and here's the cable. It has uh, a common USB connection on the other end. So what I usually do is just use this along with the USB cable that I'm using with this circuit. Basically, one connection, one output. Both are not utilizing so much amperage, so very low output, lower power. Uh, it's both are both connections are feasible, and this can handle the load. So I'm going to basically connect it like this to the power and show you exactly what the eufy does. Okay, so we have our eufy wire power connected. And here's this going right here, and eufy is going to start up. What I'm trying to show here is that eufy is uh, indicating a blue circle, blue flashing circle, and this is telling me that it's online with my phone, which it is right now. And you see this little uh, home button in the screen on my phone. When I tap that, it will engage the relay, and that will engage the light, and you'll see the light uh, turn on. So with this, we can essentially demonstrate the eufy connection. So let's begin. The light turns on and it turns off. It's a very small duration, probably 1 second, and it holds that 1 second trigger and then it turns off. Essentially, it's engaging the button. So that's all, folks. Now all you have to do is pull all these components together onto a board, solder them together according to the circuit that's shown here. Make sure the output, the light output is soldered to your wireless uh, garage door transmitter. And remember that it's the button, the two leads of the button that you need to solder to. And that's basically it. When you trigger the eufy to open the door, the button will engage and your wireless transmitter will send out the signal. So remember, you have to uh, check on the battery every now and then and change the battery up, I would say, every 6 months. I hope this video was educational for you. Thank you very much, and please give this video a thumbs up.